Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Nichful Thinking. I am your host, Nichelle, aka Ohshells on all social media, and this is all about when Nich is thinking. So let's dive in. I think this time of the year, a lot of folks are like, oh, what are you grateful for? What are you thankful for? And it's so important to live in gratitude. It really, really is. But it's also important to acknowledge your feels. And I have to be honest. I think, it's really important to also be like, this sucks. This sucks right now. I don't know what's supposed to happen next. And I want to hold on to my faith. And I also have different layers of myself that lean into realism. I need to be able to not only exist in my faith, but also be here present on earth as well. You know what I mean? And the election that just happened, girl, I don't even know what to call it, but it just wasn't the first time it happened. I was devastated. I was boo-hooing, devastated. This time there's like a numbness that's there where I'm like, girl, I'm going to worry about what I can manage and everything else. Listen, I did my part. It's like this feeling of like, I can't even begin to feed that. I can't feed that. But then on the other hand, you're thinking about the fact that like everything about life is about to change, right? There's like a level of like, you can't avoid what's to come. And you also need to acknowledge the fact that there are some people who are just that dense, who are that individualistic, and not even individualistic. Like there are people who voted against their own interests. There are people who voted directly against their own interests. So there's a certain level of stupid that I just don't like to participate in, if I'm being quite honest. But I do want to acknowledge that I am numb from the whole just political landscape. I'm it's like it's sad because it's like you almost expect the stupidity and the soullessness of people who are directly in control of your livelihood. It's actually scary and it's actually intense. And for someone like myself, I've been zooming in. I've been zooming in. I've been controlling what I can control. I'm going to keep it real funky with you. I don't even want to get into it too much, but I did want to put it out there that, it's been weighing on me a little bit more recently. It's been weighing on me a little bit more recently, just thinking about the amount of people who are going to be affected, who are already affected, that the amount of people who voted against their own interests and the amount of people who just couldn't take a woman in office, but a woman of color in office, like an extremely tenured, qualified woman to be in office. So just wanted to put it out there that that's been blowing mine. What else been blowing? Let's talk about it. What else been blowing mine? The amount of groupthink that exists on social media blows mine. It makes me feel like almost back to the episode before this one where I'm talking about like honing in on your own voice, on your own vision. Like, why are you like, you have to be able to stand on your own 10 and just be like, what are we talking about here? Like, I feel like the lack of community and the lack of understanding and the way to fit in on social media is by jumping on the bandwagon of somebody's demise. Like, it's really just like, I have to be diligent about not being on the internet so much. I schedule out a lot of my posts. I schedule out a lot of the things that I put out there. I create from my, childlike nature, like I mentioned in the last episode. And when I get into those scrolling sessions, okay, once I get into the doom of scroll, I notice my energy's different. Now I'm ready. Now I'm like, it's just a different shift. My algorithm, let me tell you, my algorithm, I got people getting married, people having children, friends going on vacation, good vibes, good energy. But every so often, there's just random baddie news and random political news. And then there's some things where I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to be hip on what's happening in the world. And then boom, they're like, yep, so and so dropped another bomb. I'm like, I cannot. Like, I literally have been just focusing on zooming in. Okay. I say all that to say that's how I feel. And that's what's been blowing mine. People acting a fool, like they don't have common sense. Some people really don't have common sense, I guess. I guess some people really don't got common sense. But anyway, around this time of year, it's like, oh, be grateful, be thankful, be grateful, be thankful. So I do believe It's so funny because it's like, yeah, that is super important, but let's not ignore our feelings, and not let's not ignore how we've been dealing with certain things. I think for me, I've been putting off different tasks that I know I need to be doing. So that's been blowing mine too. And I just wanted to put it out there that the political landscape, the minds of our youth, and just the group think of it all in general, and then also the fact that I've been avoiding and procrastinating on things that I know I need to do. All right, back to the episode at hand, the topic that we got going on. So I googled, why is it important to live in gratitude? I think it's important to understand why it's important to live in gratitude, right? And I wanted to hear it from a biblical sense. So this is what came up. According to the Bible, living in gratitude is important because it is a direct act of worship towards God, allowing us to acknowledge and appreciate all the blessings He provides, fostering a deep relationship with Him, and leading to a more joyful and peaceful life by focusing on the positive aspects of our circumstances, even during difficult time. Essentially, it is considered a key component of a spiritual life as it aligns our hearts with God's will by expressing thanks in all situations. So for me, when it comes to gratitude, amen, amen, and amen. Okay. For me, when it comes to gratitude, I started thinking about it as like the alternative is literally hell on earth. Like it wasn't the only like if keeping it funky with you, like it wasn't like, oh, like I'm supposed to be grateful and I'm grateful. No, no. I'm someone who I have to feel it from the inside out, or it feels like I'm cosplaying. Let me roll up my sleeves, child. Hold, give me a second. I expressed it a little bit in episode 2, but it was one of those things where I was like, I got to the point where I was saying it, but I wasn't really feeling it. And it took me to get to a few rock bottoms emotionally, mentally, physically, like just life wise, to go, I need you, Lord, right? Like I need the grace. I can't do this on my own. I didn't realize most of the time, I wasn't even realizing I was doing it on my own. I was just like, I want this and I wish for that. And, dang, like I wish this could be the case. And you know what? I'm just going to be grateful. I'm going to be happy about what I have. And like, it's fine. It's fine. And I was saying it, but I wasn't really feeling it. I remember thinking to myself, like, okay, wait. There was this exercise that we would do in college where I think it was organizational leadership or something. One of the psych minors that I had, something like that. And they would be like, oh, like, if you know what this is, write it in the comments or whatever. Like, let me know on the side. I don't care. But it'd be like, oh, how many squares can you see? And I would look around and, you count how many squares you can see. How many circles do you see right now? Like, let's point out at least 4 circles in your environment that you see right now. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool. And it would just be like a practice to point out what you see in your environment at the moment to help reground you, to help bring you back to present. And I did that exercise. And as I'm doing this exercise, this is probably when I was in Austin. As I'm doing this exercise, I'm thinking to myself, like, chill. You just pointed out your TV. Like you got your own TV. You got a big window and that light coming through. Like you just like, okay. You just pointed out your big like circular mirror that you always wanted, that used to be in your wish list and now it's on your wall. Like you just pointed that out. Like you're pointing out things that you used to wish for, that you used to pray for, that you used to hope for. I had to really think about it, like, not only from the perspective of there are people out there who do not have, but from the perspective of there was a version of me that really wanted this, right? Like we can't, like that's what was the flip for me. The flip for me was not really thinking about only, right? Because it is something to say, like it is something you want to look at both sides of it. But I've spent so much of my life being like, well, there's people who don't got food. Well, I gotta be grateful because there's people who don't have this, and I gotta be grateful because people who don't have that. That is very true, and that is a very real anchor or like things for you to recognize and to understand. But for the first time in a long time, I thought about it from an expansive point of view, is how I would put it, where I'm like, I used to want and wish for this, and I'm staring at it. I own it. It's in my possession, and now I'm acting like it's chopped liver. Now I'm already in the future of what else I want. How dare I? How dare I do that to the version of me that was in that purple room and them four walls, and really just existing in my bedroom, really imagining and envisioning and hoping and wishing and wanting to be in an apartment that looked just like this with big bright windows and my own this and my own that, and I could create it and I could style it how I want. I got a living room and a kitchen and my own. I used to think about a walk-in closet, and I have all these things right now, and I have the gall, I have the audacity to sit in this moment and be like, oh, I'll do whatever you want me to do, Lord. I don't know. Like, I'm just not happy. I just don't know. There was something that clicked in me where it was like, you're not okay. That's one. That's a given. But you're not grateful. You're not existing in this gratitude that allows you to expand and reflect based off of a version of you that wanted what you got right now. Like, it's different that way. It's very important to say to yourself, listen, don't get it twisted, okay? Because there's people who have less than you who have peak joy, and I mentioned this in probably episode 1 and 2, and probably episodes to come, that my goal was always joy, and it's like you have the ability, you have everything externally that you wanted, and you are on track to getting everything else that you want. But Nichelle, you have to literally exude that gratitude that you have, but you have to think about it from a perspective of like, there was a version of you who wanted this, that you have it now, right? So let's just exude and manifest bigger and pray for bigger and more, but also like, you better be grateful for what you got right now. Not because somebody don't got it, but because you have it. You have it. You have the it. You've wanted this. Hello? Right? So I don't know. Like, even growing up, I used to think people that had like the remote control, or you swipe the garbage and the door, the thing open up, or you step on it and it's like, oh, it was like opens up and it's like Sterling steel. I got one of them garbages, and I'll be taking her for granted. I'll be like, oh, you fancy. Like, you gotta talk life into the things that you own. Like, this is fancy, this is luxury, like, I got plants, shut up, like, hello. Don't forget the version of you that really, really wanted what you got right now. That's a big, 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 big thing for me. It's like planting the seeds and walking towards the version of myself that's next, but really loving everything I got right now. And I think I've had seasons of that where I was like, if this is what it is, I'm happy and I'm good, but I've definitely sharpened and honed in on, this ain't all that it is. I know that for a fact. But while knowing that and being so sturdy and strong in that, also having this gratitude of like for baby Nichelle, I made it. I already made it. So now it's about setting the other things in motion, which I'm doing with Nichful Thinking, which I'm doing with reinvigorating my YouTube channel, what I'm doing the way that I'm posting on Instagram, what I'm doing where I started and I really, really put the pedal to the metal on TikTok, what I'm doing and really educating myself on the business side of all of this stuff, and what I'm doing and really cultivating a community because I care, what I'm doing with when I don't want to do something, I'm just going to go ahead and go for it because I know it's bigger than me. And like, when you have that understanding and you know that you know that you know, and that's another thing that I want to talk more about and probably will in the next few episodes, of like the 3 layers of knowing. It's like, I can't wait to take a shower in my bathtub, in my shower. I can't wait to brush my teeth with my new toothbrush that I used to think was so cool and fancy. Like, make everything a thing. It's so important because there's a version of you that was hoping, wishing, and praying for the things that you have now. It's so true. I'm going to say these things in repetition because that's how we learn. That's how we digest, and that's how we download. So when you hear me say things like, there's a version of you who really wanted this, be grateful, be in that moment, just know that it's because you need that to be downloaded. It has to become extremely clear. It has to become subconscious that you are just grateful. And I thank God for the ability to really feel that from the inside out. Always being grateful, always existing in that, but seeing it now from an expansive point of view versus a point of view of only, well, at least I got, because some people don't got. No. I'm happy I have, because this is what I wanted and I have it now. I'm grateful. I know this isn't all of it, and I'm grateful for not knowing what comes next. I'm grateful for God for just giving me just enough so that I can make the next steps, and I trust that he'll do the rest. I'm grateful that I don't know every little thing right now. You know what I mean? I'm grateful for the things that I do have. I'm grateful for the things that are to come. Like those are the type of prayers that we need to be putting out there and really need to be, exuding and understanding. So yeah. Gratitude, people, gratitude. Now, I want to talk about gratitude, the definition of gratitude, and then the definition of thanks. Gratitude and thankfulness are related but different concepts. Gratitude, a state of being that's a mindset of appreciation for what you have and is rooted in awareness, acceptance, and compassion. Gratitude is a deliberate practice that can help you stay positive and appreciative in all circumstances. Cute. Now, let me see the difference between gratitude and thankfulness. Again, this is something that I'm looking up. One thing about me that you'll realize is I love a Google child. I love to Google something. I like to look something up. I like to see what the people is talking about. Okay. Gratitude is a general appreciation of life, while thankfulness is a response to a particular event or experience. For example, you can be grateful for your family, but thankful that your cousin showed up early to help you set the holiday table. So thankfulness sounds like more of a reactive thing, and gratitude is more of a state of being, a general appreciation of life. I do think, just like with hope and faith, that you need both. It's like being in a state of gratitude, but also being thankful. I think a lot of people, I've seen a lot of chatter, around folks not feeling appreciated or feeling like people take them for granted, or, you have a lot of things that you're grateful for, but there's not much to be thankful for. Maybe you're really thankful for certain things, but you don't exist in a state of gratitude. I mean, I would probably leave off this episode with just urging you to really reflect and think about, what is it that I'm grateful for? What have I been thankful for? What does the difference really mean for me? And how can I sharpen my gratitude so that, those thankful moments are something that you see and you're like, yeah, I appreciate that. Like, thank you. Like, that's awesome. I think the biggest thing for me is like when people do things for me, when people have me in mind, I'm very thankful for that, because I spent a lot of time feeling, I felt invisible because I was someone that didn't need to be worried about in most people's eyes. So there was a level of doing for that I didn't receive, but me myself, I never felt like I needed it. But it's a practice. Like, oh, that person did that because they really like me, or that person did that maybe because they wanted to be on my good side for whatever reason, or that person did. Oh, there's people that want to do for you. There's people that want to serve you. There's people that want to like do for you, and so it's a little bit of a practice, being able to A, receive, and then B, like, thank you, like, really being thankful for those things. And I say it's a practice more so because you have to discern, right? Like, I think there are certain things that are just human basic decency that I've learned to not feel the need to be overly thankful for. This whole, like, it's like this kindness muscle in me that's like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, the fact that anyone's even doing anything for me because I'm so independent. It's like this underlying thing that I've been practicing. And so I keep calling it a practice, where it's like, no. They should have done that, because why would they not want to slide you an extra, tender in your order? Like, relax. Like, they should open the door when you're walking through. You walk with purpose, confidence, and a smile coming through the door. Why wouldn't they want to open the door? There's certain things that you gotta be like, all right. So yeah, this was nice. I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. I do believe this is going to be episode 3. So yeah, let's do that. I'm like talking to future Nichelle, like, Nichelle, make this episode 3. But yeah, happy Thanksgiving. I love you so much. I'm so excited. Like, comment, subscribe, share. If you resonate with anything, definitely let me know. If you're watching on YouTube, what's up? Hi, how are you? If you're listening on Spotify, make sure you follow the pod. that you're able to either rate. I forget what's happening over there. If you could rate, I don't think you could comment or whatever. Apple, make sure you give me 5 stars. I want 5 of them. I would love 5 of them. Write a comment like, oh my God, so great. Love it. Something, you know what I mean? It definitely helps. We need to get the people into the energy of Nichful Thinking. Okay. So join the friend base. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel at Ohshells. All my socials will be down below, the website ohshells.com, to just be able to follow and stay hip on what's happening over here. But yeah, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. It's okay to feel your feels. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, like I had a lot of feels that I wanted to get off my chest, but I appreciate this space and I appreciate people telling me how they feel about the pod and all that good stuff. So thank you. Keep it coming. Keep letting me know what's what, how you feeling. And I'll see you guys next time. All right. Love you. Mean it. Bye.